Alright, so a couple things I want to show you real quick before we start today's video. The Charger is sitting behind me here, and it was clean yesterday. I drove to Fort Wayne for a doctor appointment. I want you to look. We had rain last night, and I don't know how well it's going to show up on here because the sun's shining and it's really bright and I can't see. But the car, I'm hoping this shows up. The car is absolutely filthy. It's like, it literally looks like somebody dumped a bucket of dirt over it. I'm not sure, the sun's hitting it, so I'm hoping it shows up, but this is just absolutely, this is just crazy. And the S10's sitting out, so I can show you on it too. It's the same thing. It's just literally, I don't know if you can see this, it's just covered in this dirt from the rain. And you know, I mean, it's getting a repaint anyway, so it's not a big deal. But this is, you know, they talk about acid rain, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But look at this stuff. It's just, I don't know if you can see it. It's insane. I've never seen cars get so dirty in my life as they do here when it rains here in Indiana. And it's just, I have to unlock the garage. It's just insane. I've never seen such a mess. You know, it's like, okay, I get it. They get water spots. That's one thing. But this is just a whole different level of just bizarre. So here we are. We're in the garage. It's actually, first time in a while, it's above 10 degrees out. It's actually really nice. I haven't been in here in a while, but I'll show you right now. It is over 52 degrees in here, and I haven't even opened the place up yet. But we're actually calling for a high today of 67. So, lots happened in the last couple of weeks. I haven't made a video. It's been a hot minute, and a lot of it's weather. It's been too cold for me to go out and function in the garage like I wanted to, so I just kind of been a sissy. I have been sick. I was in the hospital a couple of times. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, this is where I left off. I had the cab for the 53 setting out, and it got buried in snow because we had a lot of snow here. And then I got involved with, we had to put in a new dishwasher and garbage disposal and stuff. And I have to build, this is where I'm at with it. I'm building a new countertop for the dishwasher for the kitchen. So I got to finish this project up. I have to build a frame to hold it up because the dishwasher sits lower than the counter, blah, blah, blah. I actually got one of the RC cars out and cleaned it up a little bit. And I thought, well, maybe I'll get it out and play with it. But anyway, I gotta go wash the car, come back, and wash the S10. And then we'll go over kind of what we're going to do the next few days. We're actually over the hump as far as bad weather, I think, so we can actually start working. I'm on basically bed rest right now. I'm not supposed to be working on anything. But there's little things I can do to putz around. It's not going to kill me. So anyway, let's get through the intro and then we'll come back. Okay, everybody, we are back in the garage after going to the car wash. Had a couple things to share with you. The Chevy light's on today because that's normally my symbol that I'm actually going to do something today, but I can't. So what I had done last week was I cleaned off this shelf. This was a mess. And all these guys, my crawler, everything was covered in the old roofing material. So all this got cleaned off. So, oh, by the way, this is my new friend. This is Cat Paw. Cat Paw is going to help demonstrate things in the shop. Like, this needs cleaned. This is not cleaned yet. This is cleaned. This is not. So, say hi to Cat Paw. Anyway, so here's where we're at. I had picked up tires, had them mounted, got them on the rear end to get some mock-up measurements for the frame. Got that done. Got airbags. They're hiding in the box. We have airbags. And we have, they're scattered around here. Two of them are down here under the blower. The other two are, I don't know, they're somewhere close. They might be in there. Anyway, I have brackets for the airbags also. So we're going to do air bag rear suspension on the 53. So a lot of this stuff is going to get knocked off, these leaf spring perches, other things. And we're going to put a parallel 4-link under it so that we can put the thing at that ride height from there down to the ground when we park it, because I want it on the ground. So, but we got a complication. This is the middle of the current project, which is a new countertop piece for the dishwasher. I can't work on it because, well, I have a medical condition that says I can't do anything basically until I have a surgery done. And it's a pretty major surgery, so it's going to sideline me for a while. So I don't know if we're going to make the rat rod build off schedule in time or not. Because I have a lot, I mean, you can tell the 53 has not been touched in a while, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, something else I wanted to show you. This is one of my favorite cups, and I actually found it at Tractor Supply, and it's kind of cool. It's got, you know, little Chevy logos all over it, and my wife thought it'd be a great idea to put in the dishwasher. So there, you can see, there one part of the sticker just fell off. And then my Chevy sticker fell off. And what's happened, and we'll show you, is, I don't know if you can see it, oh, the clear came off. The dishwasher ate it. So, yeah, so now my cool stickers that came on this, I actually bought it like this, they're all going to fall off now. So, do not put these in the dishwasher. Bad idea. So, I had a piece of our stock cut out and was going to make some of these little brackets, because what I want to do, I hadn't covered this in the last video, but the sides, these drip rail sides right here, come up and then of course they curve around. And when we chopped the top, I had put this back, I just tacked it together on the back side, so that, you know, we could kind of get in alignment to start doing the rest of it. But the problem is this, between here and here, this originally, this went straight up. It didn't curve inward, it didn't curve outward. So if you look at it now, it's kind of, don't mind the neighbor's house, it's kind of almost straight, but I had to prop it up to get there. So what we're going to have to do is, what I'm going to do is make a couple braces to put back here, like from here to here, to hold this in the alignment I want, which is straight up and down like it was. Once I do that, and I tack it, then we'll go around to the back and we'll start making these filler pieces that are going to go in here, and now they'll have to go in here, because this, I'm happy with this. This is where I want it. All this is all good here. This has to meet this so that this can meet this. So then lastly, this meets this and this, which of course will be one piece. These are obviously just sitting here, so they can be moved around. But I want this alignment here like factory. I don't want this kicked in. If I kicked it in, then I wouldn't need to put any splices in here. This would sit flat and I could tack it and it'd be good. But I don't want this leaning in. I want it just like this. So that's the next thing on the agenda. Well, of course, we'll just lift this off and I'll cut some braces and we'll get this braced where we want it. Then we'll start working. But like I said, right now I'm not supposed to be doing anything at all, which really sucks because I really wanted to get stuff done. It is 60-some degrees out today. I wanted this countertop project done because I got motors I need to get into. The big block needs to get to the machine shop, but I'm not going to do that just yet because I don't know what we're going to be into as far as the machine shop bill. So let me flip you around here. Okay, so I forgot where I was at with all this because I had to move stuff around. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be down for a while. So the Rat Rod Build-Off ends, the event actually is September. So theoretically, I still have a ton of time to get the 53 done. I'm running into a couple little things that are challenging me. because I want to do the traditional step up rear frame like I've done before. The last 52, actually, it was a 51, I guess, that I built years ago. I did a rear Z frame, but it was more of it was not a Z, it was straight up and then straight back. And we did leaf springs on it. We used little short 30-inch leaf springs off of like a boat trailer, and it worked. It was cheap. I think they were like $30 or something a piece. They were cheap. Anyway, um, just moved the spring perches in, welded back on, boom, done. This I want an airbag on the rear so I can set the rake, um, and I can drop it when I get to car show. But what I've seen done, I've watched a couple of videos of guys building similar setups. The thing I didn't like was there are two routes we can do the link bars for the 4-link. If you're not familiar with a 4-link, I'll see if I can find a picture of it and I'll upload it. Basically, what you have is on a regular pickup truck, you have leaf springs that the axle bolts to, and that provides two things. It gives you a connection between the axle and the frame of the truck, and it also allows it to move so that it's not solidly connected and beat you to death going down the road. And depending on how many leaves are in the leaf pack, most half-ton pickup trucks have about 4 or 5. When you get into the 1-ton stuff, you get about double that. But the only way to lower a vehicle, if you have that setup, is you have to put in blocks between the axle and the spring pack, and you're limited by the blocks. But with an airbag setup, we eliminate the leaf spring altogether, and we put 4 bars, 2 on the top of the axle, 2 under the axle, that connect to the frame, and that allows the axle to move up and down like so. And because you have these 2 link bars, picture these 2 fingers being parallel, they move up and down like this as they pivot. So the pinion angle of the drive shaft stays where it's supposed to. It doesn't do this or do this, because if your drive shaft, where it comes out of the transmission and where it goes into the rear end, that pinion angle has to match on both ends. If it's 1 degree up or 1 degree down or 2 degrees or whatever it is, it has to be the same on each end of the drive shaft. And if it's not, you will get a hellish vibration and it will destroy U-joints in short order. So setting pinion angle is easy if you have a leaf spring vehicle or something that, like the S10. The S10 is lowered 3 inches with blocks. And I'm going to take the bottom leaf out of it and lower it a little bit more this spring, because we're going to do something a little different with it, setup wise. But to be able to have a lot of suspension travel, an airbag will give you about 7 inches of travel, so that it'll let you set the thing on the ground, and then when you want to drive it, you simply put air in the bag picks it up. And by using a 4-link, the pinion angle of the rear end, the pinion angle of the trans stay the same. They just move. It is on an arc, but the longer your link bars are, the less of an arc it is. If you have little short link bars, it's going to be a really pronounced arc. The longer your link bars are, it's not going to be such a big deal. And when we're only moving, we're talking 5 or 6 inches of travel, it's not going to change that pinion angle enough to really matter. So that's the trick of the 4-link. But the thing I'm not liking that I'm seeing guys do is they build their frame. You have the bottom rail comes under the cab. It turns 90 degrees, goes straight up between where the cab and bed would be, and then it turns 90 degrees and goes back. And on this upright is where your 4-link bars will mount. So what guys are doing is they're building their frame out of, say, 2x3 box, 2x4, whatever. Some guys are using a round tube, doesn't matter. The problem is they're building the frame and then they're adding the 4-link brackets have all the adjustability holes in them and everything. They're adding those kind of as an afterthought. I want that to be part of the frame, not something that gets welded on afterwards. I want to incorporate that into the frame. So, and I have the dimensions for different 4-link brackets. So I know where the hole space, I know how big the bracket is, all that.
And I'm not going to need a ton of adjustability because this thing's, it's not going to make 4,000 horsepower, and it's not going to be that critical of how the rear end is set up. And the nice thing about a 4-link is that you can change the mounting points of the bars on the brackets, and it will affect how the vehicle launches at the drag strip. So if you're running big slick tires, like, these are considered big tires, the slicks, because they're a soft compound. They're not a radial tire like your normal car. They react differently because they're very soft and they don't have much air in them. They react differently than a radial, which is a normal, like you'd see on your street car tire. So you can have one car that if you have a 4-link setup, you can change back and forth, where they're running radials or you're running, big tire, whatever. I'm not so concerned about that, as I just want the ability to have the suspension travel I want and be able to change ride height at random. So all I have to do is, either dump some air out of the bags, put some more air in the bags, whatever. I can change the ride height depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing. So if I want to put a trailer hitch into this frame and tow like a little camper, I can put some air in the bags and keep the thing level so that it doesn't sag in the rear if you put a load on it. So, excuse me, that's kind of the idea that we're going for. So what I have to do is I have to figure out, and I've tried a couple CAD programs, and I just suck at CAD stuff. I don't know. I can't seem to figure out how to run it. So any of you guys out there that are CAD guys, hit me up in the comments. I really have everything in my head. I just can't figure out how to get it on the paper so that I can make a print to work off of when I cut everything with the plasma. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. I have the bags, I have the brackets, I have all the dimensions of where everything needs to be. I just need the ability to design the brackets that I want, because they're actually going to be, like I said, they're going to be a stress member of the frame, and it's going to look cleaner. It's going to be just as strong. The entire frame is going to be 3/8 steel, or 3/16 steel. Some guys have built their frames for rat rods out of 1/8 wall. You can. We're gonna eventually, this thing's gonna end up with a lot of motor in it. So I'm not so worried about weight, because there isn't going to be much weight to this thing other than the frame and what little bit of cab is left over. So I'm not so worried about weight. So I'm going to run 3/16 wall, 2x3 box for the frame. And I want the 4-link brackets incorporated into the frame rails themselves. So any of you guys know CAD or know somebody good at CAD, hit me up. I would love to know how to do this, or have somebody that I can give them what I want and have them do it for me. So, and the right person would get rewarded for doing it, because I can't figure this stuff out. But so that's kind of where we're at with it. Winter has been cold. This has been the worst Indiana winter I can remember in 11 years. I've been back in Indiana now from Florida. So just kind of stuck in the house, and I'm sitting around, I read, and I kind of brush up on all the stuff I haven't done in a while, because I haven't rebuilt a 400 turbo trans in, I don't know, ever. So I got to sit down with the books and go through and remember how to do shit. So that's kind of what I've been doing all winter. But now it's like, it's 60 degrees today, it's nice out. I'm like, I got to get out, I got to do something. And then I got sick. I was sick in December. I was in the hospital a few days. And sure enough, same problem came back over the weekend, which really sucked. We had plans for the weekend. Shelly and I and Jerry and Barb were going to go do stuff. I screwed that all up because I was sick. I was sick all weekend. Monday was a holiday. I couldn't get anything done at the VA because they were basically closed other than the ER. I didn't want to deal with them on a holiday because I know how that is. So yesterday I spent the day at the VA, and bunch of tests, bunch of blood work, CT scans, and long and short of it is they said, well, you need surgery. I have a good GI doc, civilian, so I got to get a hold of him, but I have to get a referral from the VA to get in to see him. So that's going to be a process. That's going to take a couple, 3 weeks. So in the meantime, I'm stuck. I can't. They said no lifting, no pulling, no pushing, no bending over, no nothing, just chill. It's 60 degrees out. You're telling me to do nothing? I got a garage full of project stuff. My kitchen's half tore apart. My bathroom's half tore apart. I'm trying to get the ceiling finished in my bathroom, get my new fan put up. I can't do drywall. I can't do anything. And it's like, this sucks. I can't even work on the S10. I was going to start on the shit box and get it ready for spring. Going a whole different direction on the combo with it. It's still going to be an automatic. Still going to be a 400 turbo. I'm not going to put a gear vendor behind it. I'm going to keep 342 gears, but I'm going to go back to I'm so over, I hate to say this, but I'm so over the whole LS turbo thing that I want a carbed, HEI'd Gen 1 small block, and I'll probably put a bottle on it, 200 shot, but simple, just old school simple. I won't need the Holley to tune it. I won't have to I can tune it with a screwdriver, basically. You know how it is. Change the jets, run it, check the plugs. Looks good. Throw a little timing at it, whatever. I kind of miss that. Old days, in the 80s and 90s, and we used to tune everything at the track with reading spark plugs. That was really how I got started in hot rods, was learning that crap. So I want to get back to it because it's fun, Actually got to use your brain a little bit. You can't just, look at the graph and go, okay, well, the data shows this cylinder's, lean. We'll add a little fuel here or whatever. To me, that's not as much fun. So, not that I'm a great tuner. I understand how it works. I've been to the Holley school. I can do it. There's something about a healthy Gen 1 with a carb on it and a fat hydraulic roller cam. It's just fun just to, cruise around in. I got to give credit Billy Hoskinson's dad, Bill Sr. If you haven't followed him, look up Street Racing Channel and look up Old Man's Garage. Street Race Channel is Billy Hoskinson. He's not that far from us here. He runs an S10. It's been a small block nitrous truck forever. I think he's running turbos on it now, but his dad bought I want to say 78, 79, somewhere in there. Anyway, Malibu. It was originally a V6 car, very clean car, very nice car. And they put just a Gen 1 small block in it. I think it's got a bottle on it, but they haven't really used it. But it just sounds so cool and it drives nice. It's got a 700 R4 in it. And that car just, to me, looks like it would be so much fun. Just get in, just drive it. And they took it to Sick Week with him and he drove it all over Florida and had a ball with it. And I thought, man, that's what the S10 needs to do. It needs to just, something you can just jump in it and just drive and enjoy the sound of it and not worry about how fast it is, So I think that's what we're going to do. So, but now I can't. I got to get Chris or somebody over to help me work on it because I can't be pulling motors and doing anything. But now that the weather's good, I can start pulling parts out of storage, bringing them home, getting stuff cleaned up, and start getting an engine put together. I have enough stuff to build a Gen 1. I have decent heads. I may get new ones. I doubt it, though. These work pretty good because I want to stay on pump gas with this builder. So we'll see. But anyway, I hadn't done a video in forever. It's been cold. I haven't been outside. Nothing much going on. But we have a lot of stuff to work on. I'm just going to have to recruit some help. And I don't think I made a video on this, but I made a post, I think, on Facebook. It's probably been, I'll say 3 weeks ago now or so, maybe a month ago. I don't know. But I'm at the point where I really enjoyed doing this, working on car stuff. It's been my passion for my whole life, other than racing dirt bikes and four-wheelers. But I'm at the point where I want to start passing on what little bit I know to the next generation of people that want to build and make and do, rather than just, look, I ran out and bought a Mustang. Oh, great. Now there's 90 of us with Mustangs, whatever. I want kids that want to do this kind of stuff, that are inspired by old school hot rodding and actually building stuff with their own hands. I'm really happy to see there's starting to be a resurgence in the trades, welding, things like that. So I'm hoping there are kids out there that want to learn hot rod stuff. And there are some schools that kind of teach that aspect of it, but looking around, I haven't found a ton of them. So what I want to do is I want to get a couple, three young people that, late teens, early 20s. I don't even care if you're 50. If you want to learn this stuff, I will teach what I know, so that if you decide, man, I always wish I could, fix an old car or paint my own car or whatever. Okay, I'll teach you how to do it. I've been doing this crap for quite a while. I've been painting now for, well, let's see, I painted my first car in 86, I guess, 87, 86, I think it was. So I mean, do the math. It's like 40 years, something like that I've been painting. I don't know. My brain's cooked today. But welding, fabricating, stuff like the 53, take something that you can see in your head what the end product should look like, but you don't know how to get there. I want to teach people how to get there. So if any of you that are subscribers, if you're local to me, I'm just outside Fort Wayne, Indiana. If you guys are local and you want to get together over the summer, I would love to do some classes with guys, and I want to do them small enough that it's one-on-one, it's hands-on stuff. You want to learn how to start welding tubing together to build your own, whether it's a rock climbing buggy or, if you want to learn how to do cages. I want classes small enough that you actually get time notching your own tubes, fitting your own tubes, welding your own tubes, understand how the process works. Same with painting. There's enough sheet metal floating around that we can take a fender and scruff it up, shoot it, and then buff it, clear coat it, make it look nice, and then scruff it all up and start over and do it again. I can teach you how to do base coat, clear coat, single stage, show you how guns work. I mean, I did videos on this way back early 2000, 2006-ish. We sold DVDs on how to paint your own car at home, and they sold really well. Chevy High Performance Magazine did an article on me in 2010 about it, and it was fun. YouTube was really gaining traction at that point, and that pretty much killed video sales. But there were a lot of people that gained just enough knowledge to be not afraid anymore. And that's the thing. I don't want people to be afraid to work on your own car. I am not smart. This is not rocket science. This is basic hand tools, little bit of knowledge. Not, like I said, this is not MIT level crap. It's pretty easy. So I'd like to have, guys that are interested in this. I don't care if you're a drag racer. I don't care if you like lowriders. Anybody that's into cars and want to modify, fabricate, do whatever, hit me up. Let's have fun this summer, and let me pass on what I know to maybe inspire somebody else to pass it on to their kids, or their neighbor, or whatever. Keep hot rodding going by keeping the knowledge, the skill set, keeping it out there, keeping new generations doing this, because I learned from older guys that had been doing it. They learned from older guys that had been doing it. So that's how this hobby works, and when you get to the level I'm at, it's a passion. I mean, I eat, sleep this crap. So I want to be able to get what I know, to other people so they can do it, and maybe teach their kids. If my kids were still alive, I'd be doing it with my kids. We did work on stuff together, and we had a ball. Cam started working in the shop with me when he was about 10 years old, and it was a great experience. I helped him build his first engine, lay out flames. He went on to go through Voc school program and get his ASC welding and custom auto body and paint certifications. So unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but there are other people I know that would love to learn this stuff. So anybody, the offer is open. Anybody that wants to come learn it, more than happy to teach it. So anyway, it's nice out. I might get my drone out and play with it a little bit. I haven't flown it forever. we're going to do some neat stuff this summer. We're going to be down at the farm, and we're going to do some ATV videoing with the drone. I think it's going to be cool. We have a mile track at the farm, and my nephew rides a YFZ 450R quad, and it's a rocket. And that track is a blast on that ATV. So I'm going to set the drone up in follow me mode, and we'll do some riding at the farm and some fast laps and just have fun with it down there. And who knows? Well, maybe I'll start taking it to car shows. We're just on the cusp of car show season, another month, and it's really the weather's going to get where it's going to be starting to go to local cruise ins, and I want to do a lot of that this summer and start covering stuff on the channel. So I got some different ideas of stuff I want to do for the channel. This started out just as something to do, basically, because I was working on stuff with the kids, and the YouTube bug really hadn't hit me yet. I did have a channel, and I think I've only got like 5 videos on it. I'll link it eventually. I'll get it linked in here if I remember to do it. But now it's like, okay, everybody and their mom has a channel. Everybody and their mom works on cars and does this and does that. And there's a lot of good information out there on YouTube on stuff. But I want to keep this channel just light, fun, I mean, I'm going to document all of the stuff we're doing in here. I'm going to start doing more time-lapse stuff with the 53 and more in-depth how-to stuff as we go further with the build. Because I want you guys to see what is in my head and how it got from in my head to, at some point in the next couple, 3 months, we're going to have a roller. And right now it's just a matter of me getting these little projects cleaned up in the house to get room in the garage to be able to lay out the frame and start doing all that without, all that in the way. So that's kind of where we're at. I know this video is running long and I'm yapping, but I just wanted to let you guys know we're still at it. We're on track to get the 53 done for the rat rod build off. And I really, I'm telling you what, take care of your insides. Don't eat garbage food. Don't live on junk. It will come back to bite you. When I was, young and in the Air Force, all we did was go to the gym and run because, we had to be ready to deploy at any moment to anywhere. So we had to be in, optimal health. Well, shit, we'd consume 10,000 calories a day, but we were burning it off just as fast. You're talking we're from 18 to 23, 24 years old at that time. And man, you could eat dirt and your body didn't give a shit because, we were just burning it so fast. And now by the time I'm 40 and the body's like, all right, it's time to shut down and retire. I'm like, okay, well, I still kind of ate like that. And I started putting on weight, and I've gained, let's see, what the hell I've gained 100 pounds in the last 20 years. So it sneaks up on you. And the next thing you know, nothing's working right. You're in the hospital. Last quarter of 2023, I spent the entire quarter in the hospital. I lost 70 pounds. I couldn't even keep water in me. We thought we had everything kind of fixed temporarily. Come back a couple times last year, come back in December, come back over this last weekend, and they're like, no, you're going under the knife. We can't. This is going to get way worse, and you're going to croak. So great. Screws up, my spring, but if it fixes the problem, okay, I'm okay with it. So, but it's still going to suck because I'm going to work on my car, But anyway, I've babbled on here long enough. So, but I want to do an update. We got airbags, we got brackets, we got tires, we got mock-up, we got dimensions for the frame. I discovered after looking at my cab a few months ago how I wanted to finish out the roof. I'm glad I didn't just jump in and finish it, because then I would have looked at it and went, oh, I should have. But now I can finish it and not have to do anything twice, not have to change anything. So I'm kind of actually glad that I didn't work on it for a little while, because the last time we did, I didn't chop the top on that one, because I wanted a lot of headroom in it, because that truck was being built to sell, and I didn't know who was going to end up with it, and I didn't want somebody, 6'5", trying to fit in a 8-inch chop roof. This one, I'm going to have it set up that, yeah, we got 8 inches out of the roof. We're going to take 8 inches out of the doors and the cab, to shorten it. But I already have done all the measurements to where it'll fit anybody up to 6 foot. I'm 5'10", so I'll fit in there just fine. And anybody that hangs out with me, I don't run around with basketball players, so don't have to worry about trying to stuff Shaq in that thing. So anyway, I'll get out of here. So I really appreciate it. Subscriber count's gone up. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to this channel, because this I won't say it started out as a joke, but it was just, well, I'm going to film some of the crap I do in the garage, for my buddies. Actually, my mother-in-law is 84 and lives here in town, but she doesn't get out that much. And I would explain what I'm doing, and she kind of looked at me like, like the RCA dog. And I thought, well, if I made videos, we could sit down and I could put them on the TV at her house. She can watch and see what I'm doing. And that's kind of how all this evolved, is I can document what I'm doing in the garage, and then my mother-in-law can sit and watch, because she likes this stuff. She likes cars. She's been to car shows before with us. But this lets me kind of document, for anybody that's curious, how stuff gets done. How do you chop a top? Well, watch me do it. How do you airbag, something? Well, we're doing it. So that kind of stuff, it's neat to get that out there. Although there's, like I said, there's tons of that on the internet already on YouTube. But it's neat that I can have this. Number one, I can show it to people, that don't get over here to see it. But it'll be, once it's uploaded, it's there forever, So something happens to me in 2-3 years, my wife can look back and watch the videos and go, well, I remember when he did that, or, so it's kind of like a permanent record of me pissing around in the garage. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. Anyway, we missed sick week, of course, because I was sick. And I heard the weather was, from what I saw, the weather was garbage half the week anyway down there. So I really kind of glad I didn't go. I was really looking forward to it, but it's all right. We got other stuff coming up. Six Summers coming up. There's other Dragon Drives. Back to the Streets is already filling up. It might even be sold out already here in Indiana. That's a really good event. I think it runs in May. And some of my buddies run it. It's a good Dragon Drive. It's a fun event. So I'm going to go and just tag along this year. Probably take the S10 if we have the new motor in it. I might even run an index class with it. I don't know if there's any slots left. Maybe I'll run a 750 or a 650 index class with it. I don't know. Who knows? That's in May. I might be down with surgery then. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get off here and shut my pie hole. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. And watch out, because the paw will be out. And it will get you. So. Cat paw. Cat paw. See you guys. Have a good week.